Good morning, everyone. Well, sorry for that. Welcome to today's training. Basically, this is a follow-up training from the session we had yesterday. For those of you who are with us yesterday from 2 to 4, we were able to take you through the process of upgrading KenyaEMR from 2.x to 3.x. Which was basically a very straightforward process. But I think we had hit a snag where we had a challenge with our database. So that has been corrected. So we are using a database that doesn't have the issues that we had yesterday. So we hope that our session today will be smooth and it will be short because the upgrade should not take a lot of time. Yeah, for those who are joining us for the first time this morning, the objective of this training is basically to empower you as partners and also as our TOTs to understand the process of the technical process of upgrading a facility. This is because we are looking to have all the facilities upgraded to KenyaEMR 3.x, given that 2.x has come to the end of life. So we are no longer supporting any enhancement or any bug fixing on KenyaEMR 2.x. So it is imperative that after this training, we focus on upgrading our facilities to 3.x to take advantage of enhancements and also bug fixes that we'll continue to do as we move forward. So in that regard, I want to pass the mic over to our facilitator, who is Kennedy Ogutu, who is going to take us through the process. So just a reminder for those who may not be able to be with us throughout the process, we are recording this session and you'll be able to find it in YouTube later on today. We also have a user manual that kind of outlines the stepwise process of how to upgrade. And this also is available online on our website. So as Sugutu is taking us through, I'll be posting the links to the chat area so that you can visit, you can access those materials even after this particular training. As we proceed with the session, should you have a question, please feel free to post it under Q&A. We'll be able to respond to them as the training proceeds. Yeah, so I think let's transition so that we can start the process. So I'll request Ugutu to just start us off to proceed. Thank you. Welcome, Ugutu.
Thank you, Bernard. Good morning, everyone. Welcome to this short session. I hope I am audible enough. You can hear me. Can you hear me? Okay, thanks. We'll just pick it up from where we left yesterday, and let me just share my screen. Thank you, Bernard Musila. Are you able to see my screen? Thanks. So, as we are already aware, for you to upgrade from KenyaEMR 2.x to 3.x, your instance should be running version 18.72 and above. So we have 18.72 and our latest package of 2.x is 18.80. So you should be on those particular, either of the two versions for you to upgrade successfully. And for you to upgrade, the resources Bernard will share. Bernard will share a link to the resources where you'll be able to download the upgrade packages at the platform upgrade, and also we have an upgrade package for a 19.10. So the platform upgrade will take us to 19.00, the one that we currently have. So after downloading, extract the package that you want to run. For my case, let me just already extracted this. Those are the files you'll be able to find within the package, and our interest will only be 3. We have the install setup.bash, and we have post upgrade and setup script .2.6. So the install setup.bash is the main script here that will be able to help us back up our databases, and also restore the same databases backed up after installing MySQL 8.0. So it will back up the databases, remove MySQL 5.6 that is running on 2.x, install MySQL 8.0, configure the users, and also restore back the database, after which it will run for us the 2.4 setup script. So that all that has been incorporated in the installed setup.bash file. And then after that, we'll continue the process. So let's just go to our terminals. We know how to access the terminal. So this is my terminal. So I'll just move to my directory. Those are the contents that we have already seen. Run the bash file for us to kickstart the process of upgrading our server. So the process continues. Backup done. MySQL removed. Now we are installing MySQL 8.0. If you have any questions, kindly use the chat. Just be responding to the prompts where necessary. All these are available. You can be able to follow through using the platform upgrade SOP that's available on our project website. And kindly don't forget to check on your reports before the platform upgrade. You can download the key reports, the line list 731, so that you can compare the same after upgrading. That's very, very important. So the installation of MySQL 8.0 is done. So the restore is ongoing. So after backing up, removing 5.6 and installing 8.0, it will restore for you the backed up databases. So you don't need to worry about doing it manually. The script will help you restore the backed up databases. all the databases, not only the OpenMRS database, but all the databases in your MySQL will be backed up and all of them will be restored. Yeah, as you can see, it's showing you the number of databases that have been backed up. So the backed up are 3, and the ones that have already been restored are 2. So it's now restoring the OpenMRS database after restoring the KenyaEMR data tools and KenyaEMR ETL that were backed up. So it's doing the last one. So you can see. So this process always depends on the server resources and also the size of the databases. So if you have a relatively big database, it might take long, but eventually it will complete. So depending on the specs of your machine and also the size of the databases. So that is what will determine how long it takes. Just some patience as the process continues. Yeah, as you can see, the restore is done. And after restoring the DBs, it is upgrading the database schema with 2.4, which is a requirement for you to run 2.6 that supports OpenMRS 3.x. So the concept dictionary for 2.4 is being run. So our initial process has completed successfully, as you can see, and the database has already been upgraded with the schemas for 2.4, and Tomcat is restarted, so that if you refresh the browser and Tomcat finishes restarting, sorry for the hiccup, internet. Hope you're back. Yes. So this one tells us that the process was successful, and you realize, I think this one we need to add it in the script when you uninstall MySQL and install MySQL. You need to remove the OpenMRS runtime properties file, so that a new connection is created for the new MySQL that has been installed. So that is the process we are going to do manually. It's not yet included in the script, but the updated script that we are working on will be able to include that. So that process is manual. Let me just remove it. That is the file, the OpenMRS runtime properties file. So we'll remove this, restart Tomcat, so that a new connection can be created for the current MySQL 8.0 that has been installed. So this is the script that does that. So we realize now it's not there, but it will be recreated when we restart Tomcat. So check the logs. It's already restarted. So we'll continue with the upgrade process. From the SOP, you can follow through. Select advanced. You don't need to change anything in step 1. Step 2 of 2, you select no, and then you provide the default MySQL password, that is test. Continue. Step 3 of 5, you don't need to change anything. Step 5 of 5, you don't need to change anything. just scroll down and continue the process. So this process will create OpenMRS user and also the connection between MySQL and the modules. So just give it time to continue. When it's done, to be able to load the same and tell us that the process is done. All this depends with the server resources, also the size of the database to be updated. The process is pretty simple. We've minimized the number of the user intervention in this process just to minimize transcription errors or some of omissions in terms of running the script. So we've tried to compact all the script to minimize the number of interventions you have in this process. So our 2.4 is running successfully. So when you see this particular screen, the process is perfect. And what we need to do next is to run 2.6 script for us to upgrade the database. So we'll go back to our upgrade script. We have our setup script 2.6. That's what we're going to run next. The password here is for MySQL. You'll be asked for the same twice. It's done. Now the process of upgrading the schemas will commence immediately. Tomcat restarts. And refresh the browser. Check on the log just to click on any issues that we might encounter from the logs. If you have some tea or water, you can sip as you watch the process continue. We've really tried to make this process less tedious by having few clicks and few steps to follow to upgrade from 2.x to 3.x. This will also minimize the time that you take at the facility while doing the platform upgrades. So just patience, please, as the Tomcat restarts. So depending on your server resources, it might be faster or it might be slower. So after upgrading the schemas for 2.6, it restarted Tomcat. So we're just waiting for it complete starting Tomcat. This process takes a little bit longer because other than starting Tomcat, the script has to create the additional tables for stock and the cashier tables. There are so many tables there, so they have to be created just in readiness for the modules, additional modules that are there. So that is why it takes a little bit longer. It is almost done. We're almost there. Actually, from the process we did yesterday, one of us here just reached out in the morning. He was able to successfully upgrade a facility, live facility, and by this morning the facility was already up and running. That is James Canali from KCC Pickup. That was a nice one. So it's a fairly direct process upgrading KenyaEMR from 3.x to 3.x, not complicated as you've just seen. So Kanali, I hope today you'll be doing another one. So by the time you are reaching the second, third one, you'll be good to go. Just a quick one. If in case there's a hitch during installation, maybe power goes off when either restoring a DB or when installing MySQL, then the whole process becomes a manual process because the script will not be able to pick halfway to complete the process. Okay, so you can't run the scripts twice on a server. You'll have to run it once for the process to complete. So just ensure you have a stable internet connection and also power. If in case it goes off, then it becomes relatively manual. And if you have challenges, kindly reach out to us. I'll be sharing our contacts for service desk. Any of us should be able to help you complete the process successfully, as we also learn. So during that particular process, you should be available so that you see what you can do if in case you have such a scenario. We can take it through on how to manually complete the process. Not tedious, just using the script for the manual process. So we'll be able to take you through on how to complete if in case you're not successfully using the script because of power outage or internet connectivity. Yeah, I've just had someone ask me about DWAPI. So with the reinstallation of MySQL, you just do the reconfiguration of DWAPI. So that should not be a problem. If any case you have any challenges, just reach out and be able to take you through. On our DWAPI, yes, we'll be able to help you reconfigure DWAPI to connect to the database. So that should not be a problem. If in case you have challenges, just reach out to us. We'll be able to help you out. Yeah, I've also heard about connection to Metabase. This won't be affected provided you have not changed MySQL password. If in any case the same password you're using, then you should be able to just continue the way you're working with Metabase. In terms of specs, for you to run 3.x successfully, for a facility wide, you need at least a 16 GB RAM and a Core i5 processor and above. And all this depends with the capacity in terms of DB size and also the number of users. So it's not like one shoe fit all. Some servers might require more resources depending on the nature of the facility. If you have so many users and the database is also huge, you might need more resources, up to 32 GB, depending on the facility, or 8 GB if it's a relatively smaller facility. For low volume sites, at least an 8 GB should be good to go. Less than 8 GB, no. Like a 4 GB RAM machine would struggle to run 3.x, not 8 GB RAM and above a low volume site. When you see the logs, from the logs it's loading drugs, then it means it's almost done. That is always the last process before it successfully loads. Yes, I hope you are still there. You are holding on, waiting for it to complete. So it has completed, and when you go to your browser, you'll be able to see the login screen for KenyaEMR 3.x. So let's log in with our default password. Here we are. So that is our homepage. We have successfully upgraded our server from 2.x to 3.x. So that is our homepage. So if you want to know more about this, we have so much resources on our website that you can be able to use to navigate and check on everything. So after the 2.6 has completed successfully, we need to run now our last script in that packet, which was post upgrade. That is what you need to do. So when you're done with that, we'll create our ETLs and we should be good to go even with our report. So let's go back to our terminal. We confirm our scripts. So our last script to run is post upgrade.sh. This one will not restart Tomcat. So it's done. So we can run, we can create our ETLs. Same process as to detect. The scripts have not changed. So you can either recreate manually or you can use the UI. It's the same process. I think we are aware about that. If you want to go to the UI to recreate, just go to KenyaEMR modules and then home. So the server is a little bit slower, but it has helped us to learn. So from here, you should be able to use the ETL admin to recreate if you don't use the manual one. So I've already done that, so I need not to do that. So we can check just maybe our dashboard. When you're done with the platform upgrade, you have to ensure that you refresh the search index to ensure that when users are going to search for clients or while accessing forms and trying to access the drop-down menus, they should be able to get that. If you don't do that, they might encounter hiccups during that particular process. So it's good to refresh search index the same way we do in 2.x, the same process of rebuilding search index. So I won't be able to go into that. Maybe we can look quickly into how to set up Nginx, which is very important. Nginx is very important after each and every platform upgrade so that it helps the users in terms of refreshing cache in the backend to ensure that their process of submitting forms, doing entries, and any other need not drag. So they'll be able to work smoothly. So quickly, let me check. The same process, we can use the process we have on our SOP to set up that. So I think we are done with the upgrade process. We can quickly look at how to set up Nginx. Okay, so let's just follow these steps just to be sure that what we have on the SOP is what we use. So we just run let's just follow the SOP and see how it goes. So we just want to validate and see whether our Nginx is running after the installation. It's active and running. The next is configure Nginx. So you can either use sudo nano or sudo gedit. Okay. So what we're being told here is we replace the contents with what we have here. So from the upstream backend, okay. Let me download the file so that I should be able to scroll while copying the file. Download. Yeah. Oh,
Yes.
So when you're done, we save the file and then we exit. So we can validate the process if in case the script is working fine. The test has failed, meaning you have not posted it correctly. Let me use that I should be able to see upstream. Okay, the test is successful. It seems what we copied there was something missing, but we'll be able to correct that. So the test has to be successful for the next work. We'll be able to look at that. So it's the same process we have on our GitHub. So after validation, we configure Tomcat. Same process we have on the SOP. And from the instructions, we are told find the connector element and ensure it's set to port 8081. So that is what we only need to change, the port 8081. So under connector port, the default one is 8080, but we'll have to change it to 8081. That is where Nginx will be running. So we'll just save that. And then we are going to remove the SPA mode because now Nginx will be taking over the functions of SPA. So the SPA is under modules. So the SPA snapshot, that is what we're going to remove. And then you realize the homework not have rights, you can assign them rights. The directory and Schema. A sheet. Open and rest directory. So the next process is to check if port 8081 is ready. And there's no process that is using that particular. Yes, so it's empty. So if it returns nothing, meaning the port is ready for Nginx to use it. When we are done with that particular process, is to restart the services. We will restart Tomcat, and then we restart Nginx. To complete the process. So after restarting Tomcat, we can restart Nginx. So we can give Tomcat a few minutes to load. It will take time. So after all this process is done, we can check on validation, that's checking the status of Tomcat and also status of Nginx. Tomcat is running, just waiting for it to complete, and also status of Nginx after all the process is done. It's very important for you to confirm that both are running. And that is done. The final validation is to just open the browser and just open the browser for KenyaEMR to load. So we'll be able to wait for Tomcat to complete loading. Our logs. So that is the process of platform upgrade and also setting up Nginx. So I will hand it over back to Tieno as we wait for Tomcat to finish restarting, finish loading, which will not take time because it's not creating any more tables. Thank you very much for your patience, and hope to be meeting in the corridors of upgrade, platform upgrade.
All right. Thank you, Gutu, for that. I want to hope that we have all seen how the process goes. On our side, it has been a bit slow because we don't have so much resources on the machine that we are doing this on. But we believe that at the facility, you'll be able to have a better experience in terms of speed, and you'll not have to delay. Ideally, the process of upgrade should take not more than 30 minutes on a good day. That is on average. Sorry for that network glitch. Yeah, so as I was saying, on an average machine, on a server with average resources, this should not take more than 30 minutes on a good day. Yes, so I hope you've followed. So at this point, I want to just open it up for Q&A. I'm happy to give anyone a mic to ask any question or make any comment as we wait for the system to reboot. So you could just raise up your hand, then I'll be happy to give you the mic so that you can verbalize your comment or question. I can't see any hands. I believe maybe we have all mastered the process, and I think maybe there are no further questions on that. For the questions that were typed in the chat box, we've tried to respond to them. And should you have any other, please keep them coming. We'll be happy to respond to them as we wait for the server to reboot. On the comment, I'm seeing the name of the YouTube channel. Let me just reshare that link. It's up somewhere here. Yeah, I've just reposted. It is KenyaEMR. That is the name. So our YouTube channel is called KenyaEMR. So just head in there and you'll be able to see it. But you can also pick it from the link I've shared on the chat box. So we'll try as much as possible to avail this recording on the YouTube before Monday, so that by Monday you'll be able to refer to it. Should you need to just make reference to it as you carry on your facility upgrades. So I don't know if KenyaEMR has restarted.
It's almost when Tomcat finishes loading, it should be able to load the login page.
Okay, let me give Ashia the mic. Kindly unmute and ask your question. Ashia, kindly proceed. Unmute and proceed. Okay, seems like Ashia has some issues on her side, but I've seen the question, so let me just read that. Yeah, I've seen your question. I would like to ask Rajab to respond to it. So Rajab, Ashia is asking that they have some of the facilities running 4 CPU servers, and they are experiencing issues. I don't know if you may have any comment on that.
Thanks, Etienne. So what I can say is that for machines running on 4 CPU server core, that one should be able support. So maybe I wish if Ashia maybe can raise maybe some of the issues that they're experiencing, so that we can see whether it's related to resources or whether it's related to capacity, so that we can be able to support, give feedback. Yeah.
Okay. Ashia, I hope you've gotten Rajab on that. Any other question? You can just raise up your hand. Yeah, I can see another question about TX card dropping after successful upgrade. Again, I'll request Rajab to make a comment on that.
Thanks, Etienne. So the issue around TX card drop is ideally related to appointments. So once you have done the upgrade using the upgrading package, what needs to be done is to run the post-upgrade script so that it successfully migrates all the appointments from 2x to 3x. So once you're done with that, you just proceed, recreate ETLs, and you should be able to have your TX car back. So for sites that I know there are some sites that were experiencing the issue with TX car, and I think we were able to have a look at some of these sites, and what we actually noticed is that these sites that were using 3x, so we had some capacity gap that is on issuing appointments. There are dates that are supposed to align, which is the date appointment issued and the clinical visit date. So once we have this addressed for the sites that are using 3x, we should not be having the issue with TX car. But post migration, once you run the post upgrade script, you should be able to have your TX car as was in 2x. Over and thanks. I can see there's also another comment from Patrick that is after upgrade. They have high VLs that they did not have. Like for example, 150 copies becomes 1,500 copies. Yeah. Thanks, Patrick. So this one was noted, and I can report that this has been fixed. So ideally, the system was adding an extra O, not a 0, but an O after the results were being updated in the system. Yeah, so this is something that was picked, and this has been addressed. Thank you.
Okay. Yeah, thank you, Rajab, for responding to those. I will check if there is any other in the comment section. Yeah, Maloba is asking that, I think this is directed to you, Rajab, that you share the fixed version.
Yes, thanks, Maloba. The version will be available on Git, so you should be able to get it from Git. Thank you.
Okay, I think we're almost done. We are just waiting to see if the EMR instance has restarted. I think once that comes up, we'll be able to end it. So let's just keep it right there. Ogut, you can confirm if the instance is up.
Yeah, it's almost done, and I'm also happy to hear to see some of the participants here who are able to upgrade facilities, Malaba being one of them, upgrading a high volume site like Lumumba and doing the configuration. That was a very big plus. So it's something that is working, and the process is not as tedious. Some of the participants here are already doing it on the ground. So that's very commendable, and I would encourage anyone who has not even tried it. You can set up just an instance to try the process and see how it goes. It's a fairly straightforward process, and I would encourage us just to kick it off by moving our sites to 3.x, the ones that are running on 2.x, because you realize that even the updated tools, the reviewed tools are already updated on 3.x. So our instance successfully loaded, meaning our Nginx is running. Even in case the Nginx is not set up correctly, you'll not even be able to load the login screen. So just to ensure that you validate after each and every steps the way it is shown on the SOP. You can do your validations and just confirm that everything is okay. So I can successfully log into my instance and just work like any other person. So the Nginx will be able to help users not to be refreshing cache each and every now and then, doing that in the background, thereby ensuring that everything runs smoothly in the clinics or service areas at the facility. Thank you so much, and looking forward to engaging more on digital text. Asanteni sana.
Thank you, Ogutu. Yeah, so I think as we had mentioned, that concludes that particular process. We want to take this opportunity to thank everyone for your patience. I think you've been very patient as our server drags to restart. I think that shows your commitment. So up to that point, I would like to end the call here. But I think moving forward now, we have agreed that now partners can proceed and undertake the facility level upgrades from 2.x to 3.x. In case of any technical challenge, Ubuntu has posted the toll-free line. Please reach out to us through that line so that you can be assisted should you have any issues. Refer to the SOP from the link that I shared earlier if you want to really understand the procedure more, as well as take time to maybe access this particular recording also from the YouTube before Monday. I will be able to go through it so that we are sure it is of quality. Otherwise, if there are no further comment or questions, let's end it at that. So thank you very much, and let's meet again in the future virtual trainings. Thanks and over.